Hey, you guys, this is Reshon for News, Views, and Conversations. Just want to pop in real quick and give you my commentary on seeing The Reckoning by 50 Cent for P. Diddy. So I got a chance to look at it this weekend to pretty much come back with my take on it. I did one video pretty much, just based off of, what everybody else was saying. So I got a chance to take a look at it this weekend myself and actually marked out like about six things that I saw and just from my experience of always studying the industry since I was two on just all the different things that I've been hearing and seeing. And so far at my level, I've gotten a chance to experience some things myself. So I'm just figuring, I mean, if it's dirty at the bottom, it's got to be filthy at the top. So I don't have to go see anything else too much to go find out what else is going on up there because I see it here. And the closer you get to try to doing more of that is worse. So, but yeah, but I got just to take a look at it. And just based off what I saw, I mean, the stuff that I already knew, information that I already knew, a few more takes on it, but not nothing too much different really. So I'm kind of just like, I marked out my little six bullet points of what I want to come back, and bring to you guys and tell you and share with you guys. But it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, it's no different. Now, this may add more icing to the cake because for whatever they muffled during the case to keep people from speaking and saying more, well, he's airing it out even more in the documentary of The Reckoning. So, but the first bullet point I want to pull out is we already know that he's a narcissist. And based off of my book, The Narcissistic Game, and my studies and my understanding, they need other people to make their stuff work. There would be no bad boy if it wasn't for all the artists. If they don't have other people, nothing works for them. There would be no bad boy without Biggie, Total, 112, Faith Evans, Craig Mack, all the artists that were on the Bad Boy label because clearly everyone knew that Diddy did not have like massive talent. So he was just pretty much like the door in, the record label. He was funded the money from Clive Davis. That was his biggest investor that believed in the dream. And boom, he's Bad Boy. He's Diddy. He is the go-to guy to get put on. Okay, imagine if a lot of these artists did the same thing for themselves and they could have stayed independent, minus dealing with him. I'm thinking a lot of people would be alive. A lot of people probably wouldn't have gone to jail if they had gone independent. But I get it, times are changing, back in the day, way back in the day, the record label, that's always been the thing. Go to the record label to try to get put on. And of course, that's what everybody else did. And that's how Diddy became the it guy, bad boy. This is who you go to get put on. So they, to me, pretty much, his artist made him. He didn't make the artists. They were already stars. I mean, that's just my take from just what I've seen and heard over and over again. The second bullet point I want to point out was before we even got to all of this, before he got outed by Cassie and whatever happened with the liquor, I always used to wonder whenever I would see Diddy and Cassie together at the award shows. She was always making appearances with him, but I was like, why is she with him and she doesn't have any music out? Like, how are you with the top guy? He's supposed to be the go-to guy. How is she with him and she doesn't have any music out? Well, now I know why. I mean, now everything is answered my question. She has answered my question. He has answered my question. And I believe in one part of the documentary, they were saying she told him that she had other things to do. And he was saying they were going to get together with one of the escort guys or whatever. And she told Diddy, she was like, I have other things to do. He tells her, no, this is what you're going to be doing. So pretty much it was just like a prostitution type thing, a pimp whore type thing. Excuse my expression, but that's what that was. He pretty much had plans on pimping her out. I think she signed a 10-year contract with him. And I guess once he saw he couldn't get certain things out of her musically, he used her body. That's pretty much what we're watching here. I mean, a lot of people may not want to call it that, but that's how I see it. There's no other way to look at it. The third bullet point I want to pull out what Roger Bunn said. When he first met Diddy, he liked him as a person, But he, said over time, as he began to get to know him, really see him for who he really was, he pretty much said, everything I believed you were, you weren't. So whatever the illusion was, whatever he thought he was as a person, as he began to get to know him over time, all that changed. He began to see all the scummy things that he does. I mean, that's the thing. You're spending like hours on end with this guy, day in and day out. Some people may be getting treated nice for the moment, momentarily, pretending that he's being nice. Then next thing you know, you see somebody else get slapped down or pop out down. So you got a lot of different things. And like I said, you got to keep in mind, we are dealing with a narcissistic person here. He's using people to do what he wants, done pretty much. And I mean, and that's the thing that I keep coming back to every time I hear these stories. Um, how many more documentaries do we have to get before we realize a lot of this stuff is all illusion? I've been studying this stuff since I was 2. I used to ask my mom questions because my interest has always been music, the radio, different things like that. How many documentaries do we have to get before you realize this stuff is an illusion? Um, it's just like marketing, to make it look good, to, draw people to it. But when you get into the meat and potatoes of everything, it is not all that it seems. And I tell people all the time, where is the money coming from? Either you're spending the money or someone is investing in you and they may give you whatever percentage that is discussed, or you're about to use what you got to get what you want. It's not going to be a free thing. It's not a free trade. One of the ladies, Bat, she was in Making the Band. I'm not sure which series, which episode it was, but she pretty much knew based off what her attorney told her, if you sign this contract, it's only going to be for fame, not fame and fortune. So she knew that she would not make the money. So what did she choose? She chose the fame. And I think a lot of them know that. And I think maybe they just want the experience and just to say that they got a chance to, do it and experience it. And they know they're going to walk away with empty pockets. So many people broke. So many people not, having money to be able to help their families. One of the ladies that was in Diddy Dirty Money, I forgot her name. Kalina, I think that's her name. She needed like $5,000 to help her with a court case, I think up against her husband for her child or whatever, because she didn't want to lose custody. While he's going through this, she's asking him for $5,000. He can't even give it to her. But he needs her to speak well of him for a court case to dilute what the other girl, Dawn, was saying against him as far as him, essaying her. So it's like it doesn't patch up. You need her to speak well of you, but you can't help her in her child custody case with her son's father. So again, narcissistic. I need you to look out for me, but forget what you're going through. So we can talk about this stuff till we're blue in the face. This is the industry. Basically, a lot of people are for themselves. No one is for anybody but for themselves. They're only smiling in your face because they think they're about to get something. They're only smiling in your face because you're going somewhere and they're trying to see if they can go too. And in the minute they see they can't go, it's a great chance they're not going to be in your face. Like, okay, I think what's funny this time isn't it funny now? Before, when he got in trouble, when everything first hit the fan, he had nobody vouching for him. Now all of a sudden, Marlon Wayans, Ja Rule, Damian Dash, everybody's having something to say. Well, I think they're only saying something now because he's already gone through the court case. He's about to do 4 or 5 years. So they're figuring, okay, well, now we can speak. He's gotten punished. Why are we here? Why are we having this documentary? We already know what he's done. There's nothing else to talk about. So this time, people are actually speaking versus the first time, it was crickets. Nobody was saying anything. Nobody had 2 cents to say. But now that he's gotten punished, been sentenced, now everybody's wolfing and having a lot to say. I mean, I've done quite a few videos. Maybe this might be my 4th or 5th video about Diddy. I thought it was crazy in the beginning, like, why are you doing all these things when you know if you're a black man, they're going to come down on you if they ever get anything on you. And if you ever cross them, they're going to come at you a certain way. So I'm not really surprised, shocked. At the same time, it's like, yeah, this is very well deserved. This is your karma. You're mistreating people. You're not paying people. You're using people for free. Anybody that's new to the game, you really figure you can pimp them out because you figure they don't have experience. So you can get them to do all kind of stuff. But these people have families. This is their dream. This is the reason why they even came and got into this, because they knew they could make money, especially if they get a big celebrity like Diddy himself. So pretty much, I mean, it's just like I said before, this is definitely reaping season. Like, yeah, it was kind of sad to see people turn on him because they've only been hanging around for what they wanted. At the same time, maybe people when it came out the woodwork had he had paid them and treated them well. I mean, from my understanding, this is how 50 Cent even got the video footage. He didn't pay the people that recorded the video footage. And this was done again, I think I mentioned in the first video, this was done because he thought he was probably going to get off. So he wanted to do the documentary of what was going on, that all the different steps that led up to him, before he got arrested and got locked up. So it's just, like I said, everything that we're seeing, it's nothing that we haven't seen or heard before. But I want to leave you with this was my favorite part, I think, out of the entire documentary. Mark Curry said it the best. I had to write it down. He basically said, we're better off not doing music, having a job, not going to jail or court, or end up dying. And this is my very thought. Like, I work my regular job and I do my Shonellis Music Entertainment LLC, on the side. And I love it. And I love it because I get a chance to be myself. I get a chance to do the things that I want to do, all the things that are me. But that's what he was saying. Like, everybody that they were hanging around when it came to Diddy, they were in bad company. Everybody was going to jail except Diddy. So that tells you a lot. How are you hanging with the main guy? Everybody's either getting pow, something's happened to them. They're either, getting deleted and going to jail. And like he said, everybody was bad company. I got to read it again. Mark Curry said, we're better off not doing music, having a job, not going to jail or court, and ending up dying, being deleted. And that's my very thought. I'm like, for that, you can just work your 9 to 5, do your stuff, build your brand, and have the time of your life, whereas you're not having to look over your shoulder, because clearly this stuff that they're doing, I just don't see this as being regular money that's being funneled into the business anyways. That should make you leery right there. And clearly, if you don't return on their investment like they're expecting you to, and you're not giving them, what they thought they were going to get, there's a good chance you could possibly come up stinking. Literally that. And I really believe that's why he took it out on Cassie's ASS, because from what we understand, she wasn't really bringing it like that in the industry anyways. So if he couldn't get it out of you talent wise, he took it out on that ass. Plain and simple as that. One more thing I want to leave you with is, I mean, we've had these documentaries, these shows time and time again. Again, like I said earlier, how many more documentaries do we have to have before people finally get it? I guess out of curiosity, like what Baps did, she signed a contract anyway, knowing that she would not get fortune, she would only get fame. I guess people just want to go try it and just see what happens. Because at this point, especially now these days, there's beyond more than enough information out here online about the ins and out of the industry, the do's and don'ts, the things to look out for. So if you walk into harm's way now, it's on you. It's on you because information is out here telling you what the game is, what it's about, what's happened to other people, and how you may have to walk a fine line, take the scenic route. So if something does happen to you, it's pretty much your fault, because it's a wealth of information out here to tell you which way to go, maybe take a different route, whatever, to keep from getting caught up with people like Diddy. And I think that's the issue. People are always looking for the big fish. Him and a lot of other big fish have really turned out to be trouble, and even the hidden fish that we don't see. So, but that's just my take on The Reckoning by 50 Cent. From what I'm hearing, there's more information to come out. And I'm hearing that they're fighting to not let the rest of the information come out. And I also heard that Clive Davis said his name better not come up in none of this. So that's how you know it's beyond real. He said, don't mention me. And even though we know his hands are not clean at all, he doesn't want to be mentioned in any of this. So I just want to give you guys my take, my thoughts. Like, comment, and please subscribe to the channel. And please get my likes up. It pushes us out in the algorithm for more people to get this information. So please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Definitely check out my new book too. It's The Narcissistic Game. I actually have it out there in the community post. It's out there on Amazon. We are on paperback, hardback, audiobook, and Kindle. So go out there and check that out. A lot of information about narcissism. And you can definitely take the different chapters of what is in there and you can apply it to damn near anything: relationships, business, friendships, relationships, whatever. You can definitely see it all through this. I mean, every time we talk about it, it's all through here. So definitely get a chance to go out there and do that. And don't forget to go out there to Netflix and check out The Reckoning. You got to go out there and, see what you think for yourself. And let me know as well what you thought about it. Put it in the comments so we can, chime in and, just talk about what our thoughts are, as to what we think. And I will see you guys in the next video. Shonellis Radio TV. See you later, guys.